I think what's happening with the very political move to destabilize DEI right now is it's really just a raging and railing against the focus on race. And so I think for each organization and each of you who are leaders and champions of this work, it's going to be working through that duality, as Ritu said, around keeping the pedal on the importance of anti-racism and particularly anti-Black racism, while at the same time understanding the duality. And the broader the tent and the broader we define inclusion and belonging for everybody, the more folks that are feeling threatened will come along. And so that duality, I think, is going to be an interesting thing that folks will be working through. I think now more than ever, I want to say two other things, actually. So the other thing I want to say that when we're having our difficult moments is to remind ourselves that our work has had an impact. Our work has changed the world. Our work, the things that we do for a living, have changed the world. It will never be acceptable again for there to be a panel that is all white men. I don't care, you can cut a budget, but that'll still not be okay. It'll never be okay to go to a search firm or to put up a posting that does not make a statement on a policy related to inclusion. It will never, ever, ever be okay for there not to be a single candidate who's identifies as female or non-binary, a person of color, a person with a disability. It'll never be okay to have any reference to products or services for families to be talking about a heteronormative family. Never again. We have made permanent impact societally. And I just think that that's an important thing to remember and to be reminding folks when we're feeling destabilized. So with that, we need to keep it up and recognize that what we do is not just DEI or EDI or whatever acronym we're using. It is experts and like professors and researchers that have siloed out mental health and workplace well-being from psychological safety, from trust, from leadership theory, from DEI or critical race theory or whatever, pick a thing. It's been siloed from the other thing, and it hasn't been done by us. It's been done by some other expert somewhere else. The truth of the matter is that those concepts, those skills, those competencies overlap in the workforce. And what I would love to see is for every DEI leader to become a champion and an expert on mental health. Because I actually think that that's the thing that's about to come down hard on all of us. And I think about the early days of the pandemic as a really good example of how mental health suddenly became a focus. And then there was the murder of George Floyd, and anti-Black racism became a focus. And then, and now a few years later, there's a destabilizing or a new focus in EDI. And I think we're going to see these things coming and going as cycles. And the extent to which we broaden our skills, but more importantly, start to integrate these areas, the extent to which we do that will define how sustainable and how sustained our offices are and how sustained this work is and how impactful this work is. So on mental health, I don't care if you call it mental health, psychological safety, workplace engagement, leadership programs, empathy, cultural competence, having difficult conversations, mediating conflict in the workplace, conflict styles, communications, call it whatever you want. It's all the same stuff with a slight twist on discipline. And I think what we're going to see in the workforce is like a broadening out and an expansion of some of these ideas and an expectation to be more integrative in the programming that we bring to the table.